He's a local dad who embodies the go-forward spirit. He simply wanted to do something to cheer up his son as he was undergoing treatment for leukemia.
Yeah, but that small gesture has now grown into something much more that's bringing joy to countless other young patients and the people who care for them. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to introduce us to the drawing dad. Tell us about it.
Well, this is a great story, Kim and Damon. So, since he was diagnosed in June, 16-year-old Owen Martin from Rhodes has spent weeks at time on 7 East. That's the pediatric cancer unit at Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor. For families, those days can be long, lonely, and frightening. But as they fight Owen's illness, his dad, Greg, is drawing strength by drawing.
My son, Owen, he was binge watching The Simpsons one night, and he asked me if I could draw him Bart Simpson and Homer on his door, and I literally haven't drawn since I was a kid. And it was kind of like, oh boy, here we go, people are going to be laughing at me, but it kind of took off pretty good. And the next door asked me if I would do Scooby-Doo for him, and here we are, about 100 drawings later. Owen was diagnosed with AML leukemia. It's hard, and no one ever thinks that it can happen to them until it happens to them. It's something that can just change in the blink of an eye. He's a soldier. He really is. I mean, this kid is one of the bravest guys I know. When you're doing this, you're not thinking about all the bad stuff that's going on right now. You're not thinking about, sickness or really just getting lost in your work. I use the dry erase because if you do mess up, then it's real simple, wipe it off, go ahead and do it again. I've been known to sometimes erase the whole thing. A lot of the parents tell me it's like art therapy for them in a way, because they enjoy being able to sit and watch it come to life.
A few days after his first birthday, we found a tumor in his abdomen, and it was neuroblastoma cancer. We've spent more time here than at home over the last year. Yeah. Every time that we come here, we stroll the halls right away and we look at all the new art. He even did a patient's dog for them on the door. It really, I don't even know how to explain it. It just relieves a lot of stress and tension, and it brings happiness to the floor.
I mean, I had a little guy that made me cry. He would always stop and watch me, but he never said anything. And I finally said, is there something you'd like me to do for you? And he was so humble. And he was like, no, I just like to watch. And I said, come on, there's gotta be something that you like. And he told me he wanted penguins. He was in some pretty bad shape when I walked in. And when I walked in and he looks at me, he says, I've been waiting for you. I mean, it took everything I had to keep my composure. And then I'm like, wow, now I gotta go outside and draw penguins.
Gets people out of their room. I mean, people are just up in the hallway wanting to see every single picture on every window. It's just brought a lot of happiness and joy to our unit.
I really like that they don't call them by room numbers anymore. It's like the penguin room or the dinosaur room, so they always get excited to see what room they're going to be assigned to.
Nobody wants to sit in that room for 40 days and look at the same thing. I've had patients where I've taken stuff off and put new stuff up just to give them a change and make them feel like they've left. It's like Groundhog's Day. When you're here, it doesn't feel like the next day is the next day. It just feels like you're stuck in this loop.
Superhero. I think the nurses love it just as much as the patients do.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate stopping anytime soon. Owen is, I mean, that kid, he loves it. He actually pushes for me to go out and do more. He knows that it's making other kids feel good, not only just himself. As long as he's here, I'll be putting them down for him. As long as the requests keep coming in, then I'll just keep going. And I would love to be able to do it every day if I could. If I could make this a full-time, everyday thing and spread that feeling, it would be a dream. It really would. It would be a dream.
Now Owen is still receiving treatment at Mott, but overall he's doing okay. Now the staff at Mott says they're going to be thrilled to see Owen discharged, but they will definitely miss his dad's drawing, and I think everyone involved would really love to find a way to see him keep this going.
What a beautiful thing to do. How long does it take them to do one? Any idea?
Well, so simple things, actually, that can take just about an hour. But anything larger with more detail, that's like 2 to 5 hours. In fact, the Hulk took 5 hours, but Greg actually said 3 hours of that was just coloring it in.
Yeah.
He actually did that one overnight, so you can imagine when the kids saw it in the morning. Now, if you want to see more of Greg's drawings, he's actually started a TikTok, and it's called Cartoons for Cancer.
Love it. What a great story.
It's a simple idea.
That sense of community and inspiration that you can bring to the unit and the families. I tell you, on a personal note, when my mom was going through chemo treatments, one of the ways we bonded in her unit was doing art projects. Artists would come in, and those were some of the most memorable moments that I always remember. So that definitely does make a difference. So I'm imagining if they can use some volunteers around town to contact hospitals, it definitely does make a difference for those patients and their families.
Absolutely. It's a simple idea. Changes everything.
It really does. Great story. We appreciate it, Dr. McGeorge. Also, if you know someone or an organization that evokes our Go For It spirit, we want to hear their story. You can email us at goforit@wdiv.com or submit their story on clickondetroit.com.